having to deal with the pandemic and then the uncertainty of whether you'd be cleared by the NCAA and then the SEC. Talk about that time period, what it was like, and then finally the relief to be able to join your teammates in game action.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was a very different time, a lot of uncertainty between everybody, not just me, but, it was a great weight off my shoulders, when I became eligible and everything got cleared. I was just happy to be able to compete with my teammates.
Yeah, Cade, can you kind of walk us through, when coming back to Tennessee sort of first became an idea and that road to becoming reality and coming back to Tennessee?
Yeah, for sure. I had a good experience at Georgia. Obviously, things didn't work out. So, I transferred here and I'm happy with where I'm at now. Happy to be a part of the family and just taking it every day and just embracing
it. Jimmy Himes, then David Pascal.
Cade, I know one of your goals was to play with your brother. Y'all have been on the field several times this year. What's that been like?
Oh, it's been an unreal experience. We got to play for a state championship in high school and won that. And just we got to do a lot of things growing up together. And one of our dreams was to play college football together. And now that's a reality, it's unreal. My actual first play, I looked over and he was right next to me. So it was just unbelievable to, see that become a reality.
Did he say anything to you?
Not much during the game, but just afterwards, we talked about it and we're just both ecstatic that, we get to be able to be out on the same field at an SEC level and compete. And it's just awesome.
And one other thing, as far as the offensive line, looks like you're having some difficulties in pass protection. What's the key there? How do you improve that?
I think just consistency across the board, all five guys just being consistent, understanding the play call, communicating with each other and just being on the same page.
Cade, obviously you got to play against a lot of former teammates at Georgia not long ago. What was that like, and were there some funny comments exchanged?
Definitely after the game, there were some funny comments. Those guys are still some of my best friends. We talk to this day. And, those relationships never really changed. And just being able to compete against me was just like practice. It was fun.
And then when you look at this week, this is probably the first time you've ever been a 3-touchdown underdog in your life. What is it like kind of this week preparing for a team where you walk around and not many people are giving you a chance?
I don't really think much about underdog, who's supposed to win, who's not supposed to win. It's the SEC. Anybody can win week in, week out. And it's a competitive league. So, everybody's got to show up to play. So being an underdog doesn't really concern me. We're going to go to work this week and make things happen.
Thank you.
Austin Price and Blake Topmeyer.
Cade, it feels like you guys have had more success when you've been out at right tackle and you've had either Spraggins or Jerome beside you at guard. Is that where you feel most comfortable? And how important is it to find continuity and be able to get healthy enough to have a set kind of five that you guys can roll out there with several series in a row instead of all the shuffling?
Yeah, my whole college experience, I played all five positions on the line. So, I've kind of embraced being able to play all five positions and wherever I am on the field, I just try to put forth my best effort and help the guys around me. So, I'm not really concerned with moving around and stuff. I don't think you necessarily need five guys all the time on the field, just like the defense does. They run in different guys on different packages, playing different positions. I think it also confuses the defense and messes them up going against, maybe me here one series, I'm here the next series, guys moving around and stuff. So, I think it's a good little change of continuity.
Blake?
Hey, you had described your time at Georgia as a good experience earlier. Your lawyer called it a toxic environment. Which was the case?
It wasn't the right environment for me. I made some great memories there. I've got friends for life down there. It just wasn't the right environment for me. So, I obviously transferred and now I'm here and, I'm happy with where I am.
We'll go to Patrick Brown and then Vince Farrar.
Hey, I think you finished the game or played late in the game the other day at left tackle next to Trey. I know he's been a longtime friend of yours. What was that like for him? I know he's talked a lot about wanting to play with you and kind of came out in defense of you to the NCAA back before you got cleared. What's it been like playing with him? And are you hoping that maybe you get some more snaps over there next to him?
Absolutely. Yeah, it was awesome. It was something, we've talked about since sophomore, junior year of high school, and for that to come to fruition, it was awesome to look over and see him lined up next to me. I'm comfortable wherever I play, so if I get more left tackle reps and get to play next to him, that'll be awesome.
Cade, how was your adjustment in terms of coming in and trying to help the team get better from a leadership standpoint, being that you're new, but you are an upperclassman, and I'm sure your voice does carry some weight? What kind of balance was that for you to maybe fit in, but then also try to help this team do something special this year while you're there?
Yeah, I took it upon myself to try to help the younger guys just come along and grow up a little bit, and help them with anything they needed help with, whether it's off the field, on the field. I've lived it for a couple years, so I could definitely help them and give them some tips and pointers. But one thing that the coaches stressed to me, even though that you're just coming in here, you got to be a leader for us, and I try to take that upon myself.
And one quick follow-up, how different is the Cade Mays in 2020 versus the one that was being so heavily recruited around the country? How different are you as a person?
I feel like I've grown up a lot in the last, 2.5 years. I feel like I've matured a lot on the field and off the field, and I'm liking the person I've become.
All right, we'll go to Gustavo and then back to Austin Price.
Cade, there were a lot of talk about you, especially on social media, the hashtag Free Cade Mays. How do you handle that pressure from fans that were expecting to see you playing? And if you were, following that, talk on social media about your hashtag Free Cade Mays?
I embraced it. I was just very thankful, that the fan base, they fought for me the way they did. My teammates fought for me the way they did. And I think it really made an impact on ultimately getting my eligibility. And so I was just very thankful that, they supported that.
And quick follow-up, and to handle that pressure, because I imagine, that was, nice to embrace, but once they came to the field, I imagine it wasn't easy to fulfill that expectations of the fans.
I wouldn't really say there was a pressure or anything. I just go out and play my game week in and week out, and give my best effort and do the best I can. So I wouldn't necessarily say there was a pressure,
Cade, everybody gets to write their own story, and your story's had some twists and turns to it. But when you came back in the building, not necessarily the first practice or the first game, but when you walked in the building as a member of the football team here, what were the emotions? Because I'm not sure you ever saw yourself coming back here, but yet there you were as a part of this program. And how much did the fact that Coach Pruitt and Coach Friend and those guys, the way they recruited Cooper and just kind of stuck with him, even though you had just made your own decision to go to Georgia, how much did that impress upon you, what kind of men they were?
Absolutely. Coach Pruitt, Coach Friend, they were very receiving of me when I came here, and I was just very thankful for the relationship that I built with them when I got here. And as far as the emotions, I was just, even when I went to UGA, I still had great friends on this team, and we talked all the time. And so just coming back and rebonding those friendships and just, strengthening them, it was awesome to come back and see all my friends and stuff and just be a part of this team.
All right, Eric Kane, and then back to David Aubin.
Hey, Cade, it's kind of full circle. You played high school football in the area, now playing at the University of Tennessee. How did Steve Matthews, Justin Anderson, and the rest of those coaches at Catholic prepare you for football life here in the SEC?
They definitely did a great job. They pushed us in practice to be the best we could be, game situations the best we could be, and in the classroom and stuff, and made sure we got all our stuff done. As far as like on the field, the practices at Catholic were very up-tempo, very fast-paced. So it was good acclimation to college,
Cade, there hadn't been very many people who've gotten to transfer inside the conference and play immediately. What was sort of the case for why you deserve to be able to do that?
I just feel like the SEC, I laid my appeal out, and the SEC and NCAA felt like that deserved me to have my eligibility. So that was their decision they made, and I'm just thankful that was their decision.
What was that first week like when you weren't able to play?
I watched the game from home, and it was just, it was something that I hadn't done before. So it was very it was uncomfortable, made me really uneasy. And but seeing that my team got the win made me very happy, and guys played well, so I was there to support them.
We'll go back to Rick Russo and then back to Jimmy Himes.
Cade, initially in your career, college career, you watched Jarrett Guarantano from the other sideline. What is it like now being a teammate of his? How is he as a teammate, a competitor, and a friend on that offense?
Yeah, he's a great competitor, great teammate, great friend. He comes to work every single day, works his butt off. He's always in the field room, always staying after, getting extra work, and just a great guy. He's a good leader for our team, and we believe in him.
Cade, Coach Pruitt has talked about how COVID made a lot of people miss a lot of practices before the season started, and he's indicated he thinks that has maybe had a little bit of an impact. Do you think that as many players sitting out as they did, and many of them are on the offensive line, do you think that's had an impact on the continuity of the offensive line play?
I wouldn't use it as an excuse, but definitely not getting our full practices and stuff in, and not having all the pieces of the puzzle in there definitely makes it difficult. But I wouldn't use it as an excuse. We missed lots of key components, that were out for 2 weeks or so because of the COVID. So it definitely makes it tough, but not an excuse.
And how would you assess the offensive line play so far?
Inconsistent is the word I would use. We've got to be more consistent in running the ball, throwing the ball. We got to make running lanes for our running backs, pockets for our quarterbacks, and just letting it loose. Just playing with great effort and just being more consistent.
Last two questions, David Pascal, followed by Vince.
Cade, given that Brandon Kennedy went through the same thing, transferring from a rival school of Tennessee to Tennessee, how much have you leaned on him throughout this whole process, and what has he meant to you?
Definitely. BK, he's an older guy. Definitely was like a mentor to me when I got here. He welcomed me with open arms and just kind of showed me the road here. And we've made a great bond since I've got here, and I'm really enjoying that.
Cade, when you were at Georgia, you obviously had some epic battles with Alabama that you were a part of. Are there a couple of moments you can share with us that stand out about that? And then also talk about the challenge of this Alabama team you go up against on Saturday.
For sure. So I've never actually played against Alabama. We played them my freshman year at SEC championship, and I was coming off of a medical issue, so I didn't get to play in that game. But, looking at their team this year, they're very physical, in depth. They're really good front seven in the back half. They play with a lot of effort, very fast, very physical. And they're just very technically sound. They look well coached.